A crossover for less than 10,500 euros?
Yes, as long as it won't have roof bars, front, rear and side protective panels, alloy wheels, metallic paint, split rear seat, height adjustment for the driver's seat, onboard computer, rear parking sensors, cruise control, fog lights, power and heated side mirrors, central locking, power windows, AC, rake adjustment in the steering column, radio, sat-nav and all-wheel drive. It also won't have a 1.5 109 horsepower diesel, but a 1.6 105 horsepower petrol engine.
I suppose most of you will be looking at one of the mid-spec models. Perhaps you'll choose the optional sat-nav. There is an LPG version available as well, but it's only with front-wheel drive. The Duster is supposed to be cheap and practical. This top-spec model costs 1,500 euros less than the base Qashqai. The boot is up to 475 liters, up to, because depending on the market and on the spec, you can have the full-size spare tire here or the LPG tank. Now, this tire may be optional in some markets. Here in Poland, it comes as standard.
The optionally split rear seat folds to give a flat loading area. In the back, there's decent amount of headroom and legroom. Dacia calls this Duster new, but in fact it is just a facelift. The car now has ESP as standard, which is now legally required in Europe. It's got a new grille and new headlights. But the biggest changes are on the dashboard. Due to the optional sat-nav, power window switches were moved to the door. As a result, now the driver hits his or her knee against those switches. There are also two new cubbies, which were missing in the pre-facelift model.
So as you can see, I drove some pretty rough terrain. Well, as rough as most of you are probably gonna get anyway. I wouldn't want to drive a normal passenger car here, and I didn't, and I wouldn't want to drive a car without some sort of all-wheel drive here. The Duster does have all-wheel drive. You can lock it, and well, yeah, it coped pretty well, I guess. So now let's see what it's like on the road. On the road, like during light off-roading, the Duster is okay, really. I mean, at this price point, you don't really care what the steering is like or what the brakes are like, right? I mean, they work, yeah? You know, when I step on it, it brakes. Oh, yeah, see? Things fell down, so yeah, it'll brake. The 1.5 dCi diesel, it's an engine we know from many Nissan, Renault Alliance cars, but here it sounds particularly agricultural. Well, I guess it's a matter of sound insulation. It does about between 6 and 8 liters per 100 kilometers of diesel, depending on whether you're in extra urban or urban cycle. What I definitely don't like about the Duster is how the gearbox works. Now I'm in 4th gear, shifting into 5th, and I got 3rd. And it's the same when I'm shifting from 5th to 6th, so I have to watch it. If you pick the car with sat-nav, whether it's because you selected the top spec model or you chose it as an option in one of the mid-spec models, it's pretty easy to use, so that's good. However, it's located rather low here on the dash, so you have to take your eyes off the road to see what's going on and where you're going. And I wouldn't mind if the screen was a bit tilted towards the driver. It would definitely improve visibility, especially on sunny days. Now, the Duster isn't particularly fast, it's not particularly quiet, it's not particularly well sound insulated, and it's not particularly comfortable, especially on longer journeys. Now, I mentioned before that the power window switches are now moved onto the door, so you end up hitting them with your knee. But there is also no lumbar support adjustments in the seat, so after a couple of dozen miles or kilometers, depending on where you live, you will feel this in your back. But at least visibility is really good. So, who is the Duster for and what is it for? If you're satisfied with the petrol engine and just air conditioning, you can have this for 12 grand. Add 3 grand more and you get a pretty well-spec'd all-wheel drive model. However, if you can afford the top-spec Duster, I suggest you step up from the budget segment and look at the Nissan Qashqai and Suzuki SX4 S-Cross. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the channel logo in the upper right corner. New reviews every Friday. Rate and comment. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Google+. You'll find all the links in the description below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.